Hi, hello, Miss Steele here. I'm here at the bottom. These are my hands showing you what I'm doing. This week we are talking about lines and shapes, two of our elements of art, two things we use in art all the time. So for this, we're going to be making a shape collage. So we're going to be cutting out shapes to glue down to make new shapes. So what you're going to need is a pencil and an eraser. This one has an eraser on the back. You're going to want 3 pieces of paper. We want a white paper, and this is going to be our background. And then you want 2 pieces of colored paper. You can do whatever color you want. If you don't have any colored paper, what you could do is color white paper to give you colored paper. I have pink and I have black. We're going to set these aside for right now. We want some scissors, glue, and then you want something to draw with because we're going to add lines to the background. I have markers. So I'm going to get this stuff out of the way because we don't need this yet. Right now we're going to work on decorating our background. And what we want to do with our background is we want to add all different kinds of lines going in different directions. So I will show you those now. You can draw them in pencil first and then go over with your marker, but I'm going to go straight in with my marker. So of course, we have straight lines. I'm going to add them in with some blue like this. So now I have straight lines in those corners in blue. Maybe I'll turn down the brightness on this a little bit. There we go. So I have some lines in blue. I'm going to come in with my next color. Maybe I'll use pink. Whatever colors you use, that's kind of up to you. I want you to have your own artwork and your own choice in this. So even though we're adding all different styles of lines in the background, you get to choose what color you use. And I want to see at least 4 different styles of lines. I'm probably going to add more than that, just so I can show you. Maybe over here I'll add in some loopy lines like that. And then maybe I'll add another loopy line right here. Yeah, like that. I'm going to come in with my next color. I think I'm going to choose green. And I'm going to start adding in some wavy lines. So now I have 3 different kinds of lines. I'm going to come in, maybe I'm going to use this purple. And I'm going to add my 4th different kind of line. And I think I'm going to do some zigzag lines. Like that. So going up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And I'm just filling in my background with all different styles of lines just to give me a nice background for my shape collage. And we're talking about lines. Maybe right here in the middle, I'm going to add some lines that are little dashes. So I draw a little line and then I pick up my marker and move on to my next. Like that. Alright. On to my next color. Maybe we'll go with yellow. And I think I'm going to add some like castle lines. It almost looks like the top of a castle like that. Got off track a little bit, just like that. And now we have a little gap over here for our last line. And I think I might do it going down, just so we can kind of change up the direction a little bit. And I think for this one, I'm going to add, instead of dashes, it's going to be lines that are made up of little circles. Like that. So now we have our background decorated, so we can start adding on top of it. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to pick 2 different areas in here to make a shape collage. And we're going to have one of our shapes be geometric and one of our shapes be organic. So if we're talking about organic versus geometric shapes are shapes that we recognize, shapes that have a lot of straight lines. You can think of like an oval, diamond, triangle, square, circle. Those shapes that we use a lot. Organic shapes, on the other hand, are free-flowing, and they don't really have to look like anything. They can almost just look kind of blobby, kind of flowy. Organic shapes show up in nature just like geometric shapes show up, and we're going to try to do one of both. So what you're going to do is draw two shapes bigger than your fist, and you can choose where on here you want to add them. I think I'm going to use my pencil, and I want to draw one geometric shape. Whichever geometric shape you use is kind of up to you. I think I'm going to do a triangle. And so what I'm going to do is, using my pencil, I'm lightly going to come in and pick a space to draw a triangle in. Kind of like that. And then if I have some extra, I can go back and erase. I'm not pressing too hard, but I am going to fill this in, so I want to know which area I'm in. And then I think right over in here, just to kind of equal it out, is where I'm going to draw my organic shape. So whatever organic shape you choose to do is up to you. We want to have one geometric and one organic. So I'm going to draw that right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut up this paper to put into these sections. So I'm actually going to set this aside, and then I'm going to choose which one of these I want to be my organic and geometric. And then I'm going to cut out a bunch of little organic shapes or a bunch of little geometric shapes so I can add it into here. So I think I'm going to make this one be my geometric, and this one's going to be my organic. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start cutting out geometric shapes. So squares, triangles, all those sorts of fun stuff. And I'm going to cut them up real small like this. So you can do triangles if you want. You can do some ovals, some squares. We're just trying to get a bunch of little tiny organic shapes. Or I'm not organic, geometric. This one's my geometric. And then over here, I'm going to cut out a bunch of small organic shapes. So those are kind of going to be like free-flowing a little bit. Something kind of like that. So I'm going to go through and cut out some organic shapes and some geometric shapes so we can move on to our next step. So you want a pile of little geometric shapes and a pile of little organic shapes. I'm going to get those cut out, and then we will move on to our next step. So I have a pile of those organic shapes that are kind of just lumpy, sort of weird shapes. You can see. And then I have a pile of organic shapes, or not organic, I'm sorry, I'm getting them mixed up today. Geometric shapes over here. So that's triangles, squares, rectangles, stuff like that. So now I'm going to come back, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the geometric shapes to fill up my triangle and the organic shapes to fill up my organic shape. So what I like to do is I go in, and instead of gluing each piece, what I'll do is I'll put some glue down, and then I'll start filling it in. And then that lets me know if I need to cut more too. So I'll go in like this and put down some glue, and then I'll come in with my organic shapes, and I'll start trying to like fill it in, kind of staying in the lines the best I can. It's okay if there's some gaps, but we just want to fill it up using those shapes that we cut out. So there's another one. That. So I'm going to keep filling in this shape and putting down more glue when I need to. And then we'll move on to our triangle. Alright, so I got my organic shape all done. If you see, there's still like a little bit of room, but not much. I've got it about 90% filled in for my organic shape over here. And I'm working on my triangle right over here. So it's almost like a little puzzle at some points, because you want to fit everything in and try to still maintain the shape. If you can see, of course, there are some areas over in here that I didn't get filled in, but I'm just trying to fill it in to the best of my abilities. Again, if there's some little gaps, that's okay. That happens with collage. go. Maybe I'll put a tiny triangle up here and a little rectangle to fill in the rest of that. Maybe a square right there. And so you can see I have now a collage of a bunch of small organic shapes making up one big organic shape, and a bunch of small geometric shapes making up a big geometric shape. I'm going to wait for my glue to dry before I take a picture of this, but I cannot wait to see how these come out for you guys. I want to remind you, you want at least 4 different styles of lines in the background. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I believe in you. Have a wonderful rest of your morning, your evening, your afternoon, whenever you're watching this, and I will see you all next time.